Okay, so we're good. Cool.
Okay.
We're fully good.
Yo.
Okay, so we're good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're up at CJSW. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice.
Okay, so I don't know. Do you guys want to restart?
Yeah. That's right. Third time's the charm, man. We got this. We're just getting better and better at this, and like
It's good practice. It's good practice.
That's right. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
That's
right
all
on.
about.
Right on.
Okay, so yeah, then now we're good for good. We won't need to stop. It was just one thing was messed up.
It's like Nick's trolling us, like he's going to stop us one more time. We're like, sorry, man, you guys got to stop.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the
Sweety
Treaty Show.
Nice. Good harmonization. Good harmonization.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I was
what it's all
feeling
about.
that. We didn't forget it this week, so I feel good, that first little bit of the show's off to a good start.
It is. It's been a good 15 seconds.
Just like to welcome everybody back to the show. The name my parents gave me was Michael Daniel Broadfoot. My Blackfoot name given to me by the elder Mixikum. My elder Mixikum, Clarence Wolfleg, is Apis Gonaki, which means far shooter. And my rapper name is Good Medicine because I believe words can be good medicine.
Cool. And I'm Eric. I appreciate the shirt you're wearing, Mike, for those viewers at home. Not one of the 3 people peering in at us here. He's rocking the Refugee Health YYC shirt, which is where I work and I base a lot of my life, and I guess the good vibes that I'm trying to project here today. Most of them stem from that clinic. So
yeah. And I've known Eric for quite a while, and it's interesting to hear his journey, both from a peer and also as a friend. A lot of stories I feel have come out of that center there that you worked at, and a lot of things that you've learned, and if I were to try and put any words to it, what I would say is like you've learned things about humanity. Like that would be kind of a way that I would summarize or generalize things that you've shared with me. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty fair summary. I think I've got so much more to learn yet, but I'd say you do get the experiences there will teach you something about humanity. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I wanted to hear a little bit about your week. Was there any highlights or anything going on there? I know you have some work that you're handing off to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm kind of training up a new recruit on, she's been around the clinic for a while now, actually, but now she's been newly recruited to the research part of the team, and I'm going to try to hand off a lot of my responsibilities, which is kind of fun because, like, so far I'm kind of like, Wolverine, in that I'm the best at what I do, and that I'm the only one who actually is doing
kind of
this
like
stuff.
Wolverine.
That's his catchphrase from the comics, though, I guess. Anyway.
Oh, word.
Yeah. He's like, I'm the best at what I do. Anyways.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it's mostly because I'm kind of the only one doing what I'm doing here. I think actually with this new recruit might even, she might surpass the master here, I think. So, anyways.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So are you a Jedi master or are you a Sith master?
Oh, we're definitely Jedi here. Yeah. But I mean, even just asking that question, gets me suspicious because that's sort of a bit of a binary. You're sort of dealing with absolutes there, which raises some eyebrows. You know what I mean.
I do know exactly what you mean.
Now I'm getting a clear picture of what's supposed to be going on here because there's 2 of us here. And, and Michael is the one with all the background. He's inviting me in, You might call me his apprentice here. Oh, I see what you're up to, man.
Star Wars references are coming out, eh? Yeah. So it's about 20 push-ups every 10 minutes or something. So while other folks are talking, you got to stop and about 20 push-ups, and yeah, that'll be the start of your training.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, as you wish, my master.
Yeah.
But it's been a good week, though. I've been reflecting a lot on the podcast that we did.
Radio show.
The radio show. I knew that was the wrong thing as soon as I said it. The radio show.
Everybody calls it. Talk show. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a social construct anyway. It doesn't matter what we label it, man.
Yeah.
So I was reflecting on last week's episode, and
it was a doozy, because that'll be coming out today while we're recording.
Yeah.
And for those who haven't listened to it yet, or have listened to it and are listening to this episode, it was like 2 hours and 50 minutes, the longest show we've ever done. And that's what happens when Wesley leaves, and we don't tell Eric that there's signals to do with Nick, and Michael just is left to his devices. We're 2 hours into a show.
Yeah. So as I was saying,
shut up, Michael.
there was a thing. Right. All right. I was reflecting on last week's episode, and and I kind of feel like the dudes who stepped in to make like Halo 4 and 5 and Halo Wars. I think it's Studio 351, which we're kind of talking about.
Right, that's
here.
Microsoft too. 344. What is it? Studio 343.
343.
Yeah,
thank you.
because it's 343
Nice.
Guilty Spark. Shout out to Halo 1. That's the.
I didn't realize it was because of 343 Guilty Spark. No, man, you're blowing my mind here. That's cool. That's cool.
I am a
That's
Halo 1
legit.
fan.
Right. So I feel like I'm trying to, step in here to fill in for the irreplaceable Wesley, man. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to do my thing. And just so, Studio 343 comes in there, and it's like you can't replace Bungie.
That's a good analogy.
Like that's
a good analogy.
Bungie is Halo,
Yeah.
and the
soul
Michael
of it.
Wesley thing, Michael and Wesley are the Sweety Treaty Show.
Yeah.
You can't have a treaty with just one person.
That's true.
So
That's true. Yeah. Well, I gotta say, first of all, I'm really happy that you said yes to come on the show. Like, honestly speaking, really happy to have you here. And it is, a scary thing to step into somebody else's position. And, I'm sure teachers, that do substitute work probably feel this. Anybody who's kind of filling in for folks. But I think, if I could try and kind of get our head into a healthier place, or, a good place with it, it wouldn't be a substitute. I feel like substitute is it's like a kind of a, I don't know, it's like an icky way of looking at it. Like I'm kind of subbing in for this person, when really you're here because we needed, like the show, the mechanics of the show, to me, and I'm still learning. I keep saying this, so I can make all the mistakes that I want if I say I'm still learning. Teaching moment. But if you come in here, as a co-host, we need that kind of back and forth a little bit. We need that, I need to be able to talk with somebody, about the show, about how to best do the show, and have somebody who's willing to be themselves on the show. And I just, we've been friends for a while, and things like that are something that I really appreciate about you, and why, for me, I only called one person. I only called one. I thought about a few folks, I thought about a few folks, but I only called one and texted. I actually did, I hit you up on multiple mediums, but you were the only person that I called.
Well, thanks, man. That means a lot. I guess you're saying, you can't just come in here and start telling people about your week. You need someone to ask you about how was your week, and
It's really
and
complicated.
if that's not a segue, then I don't know what is. So why don't you tell us how was your week, man?
Yeah, my week is really good. So, folks who are listening to this, we won't have a show next week because Wesley is out of town, and I will be out of town camping with my family. So I've been looking forward to that all week. Even this morning, I was helping Dion Simon, Standing Wolf. I was helping him out, him and Tori McMillan putting up the teepee just outside here on campus, or taking it down, and then moving the poles
Right on.
just outside the. You guys can't see this here.
It's
We're
real.
playing.
He's not BSing here. This is this. This is not fake news.
Want to avoid the big T conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said like there's something different about you, and part of that is that I'm just like ready to go on vacation with my family. I only go like once a year, and we only do something like this once a year. I've been working all summer. Like a lot of folks will get a job and just kind of take it easy. With Wesley, we started this show. We're looking at potentially working on something else. So there's a hint for some folks who are following
that's
us.
tantalizing.
Yeah.
I'm tantalized right now.
Yeah, your eyebrows said it all. I'm working on this research project, which is student-led. So I identify as a student researcher, and so a lot of my work throughout the week goes to that. And I spend a lot of time on campus here, kind of working away at my own project, and it feels good, man. Like every little step as a student that you're trying to kind of better yourself. Somebody gave me, I don't know, I'm kind of just starting sentences here and not finishing them, but somebody gave me advice a few years ago about being a student during the summer. And students are broke. Like, not every student, but a lot of students are broke. And so when you go to work for the summer, one of the things that you think about is like, well, I'm going to go make some money. Like, that's something that people think about. But the advice that I got was go for experiences. Like, spend your summers acquiring experiences or getting experiences.
Or tuning into the Sweety Treaty Show, and you can experience an experience like no other.
Yeah. It's like a scalp massage for your ears or something.
Or for your soul, man.
For your soul, yeah. A little bit of laughter, some constructive thinking, some art. Only on the Sweety Treaty Show.
Right on.
Yeah, and so this summer has been primarily about that. As much as I can, I've been trying to figure out ways to self-determine, my life, to lead my life in a good way. And, I think that advice in the summertime for students is really great because, like, during the 8-month school semester, you're just doing what you got to do to get through your classes. And, students listening to this or people connected to academia, they'll tell you, like, once you're in school mode, it's, like, pretty hard and discouraged even to do things outside of what you're doing in school. And I would advocate that that's probably a good way to look at things for the most part. But, I think Mike might have something to share a bit more about this when we get into it. But just that, like, it is important to find different experiences during your education, and also that Stephen Covey says that you can go to university and get a degree, but not necessarily get your education. And I think that's an important thing here, when I say I'm going for experiences.
Shout out 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Highly effective people. My boy Stephen Covey, represent. Rest in
and
peace.
his son's book is actually also just great. It actually shaped because his son wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And man, at the very least at the time, he just nailed it. I was like,
cool.
Yes, this is what I can kind of use as a sort of guiding light throughout the tumultuous, reality that is high school. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, so we got quite a show today, so we should probably keep on keeping on, I suppose.
Could we?
Do we have another clip from the Co-Ghost?
Yeah, can we channel Wesley's spirit? Is that possible?
Yeah, I can do that right now. Just give me a second.
Thank you.
While being incredibly technically savvy, Nick is also a spiritual channel kind of guy, so he's gonna channel Wesley's spirit from the mountains into
That's an impressive speech.
I think
feat. To be able to summon, a spirit as powerful as Wesley. That is
something else.
That is
something else there. How do you do it, Nick?
Sorry, I'm rebalancing stuff, so it sounds okay later.
Rebalancing stuff like Thanos. Thanos rebalances stuff.
I wanted to bring this up on the show today too. We watched Infinity Wars or Infinity War? I think Infinity War.
Yeah, I think it's also one galactic war. I think I could be wrong in that. But
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, I honestly thought that was the best Marvel movie I've seen. And a lot of people are saddened by it, and and I don't want to give anything away, so let's not like spoil it necessarily, but
Interestingly, and this is a conversation for another time, but I actually feel that Black Panther was my favorite, and not for the reasons that everyone else feels is my reason. And people get upset at me being like, no, that wasn't a message in the show. How dare you? I'm like, well, somebody's the good guy and somebody's the bad guy, and there's a reason for that. And
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really resonate with T'Challa from
cool.
Black Panther.
Could you tell me what you resonate with?
I think that he just totally embodies individualism, and like very, very clearly, like, and yes, there's something to be said for collectivism, and what do we do with collective trauma? But the answer is probably not wage a war. We won't go. We want to keep spreading the good vibes here. But I feel like that was
Cool.
a valid interpretation, I think, of the movie. And I think there's other valid interpretations as well. But
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I feel that. I'm gonna watch that again and keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're for sure ready to go right now.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Let's hear from Wesley.
Sandus. Hey. Cool.
Check out.
I can't even drink.
It's
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the situation. Like scoping him. Just missing her.
It's the way it goes. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just miss them, you know?
Just missing them. Just like following them around. It's like it's got nothing else to do. Wow. Wow, we can't. Yeah. Yeah, when you can't afford cable, you walk. Go get your Action TV. Wow.
Right.
Well, that's quite a story.
That's right. Let's try to see. The first 2 years of my university career were as an English major, and so I'm just trying to analyze this for all the different levels of morals, and we see, a sort of, in a way, it's like, well, what kind of conflict is it? It's sort of a bit of a man versus, himself sort of thing. How does he deal with these powerful emotions that he feels for his significant other, in this sacred watering hole of the McDonald's, like,
Yeah.
what can,
Well, and I gotta just like point this out, because it's obvious to me, and I think it's obvious to folks. But when we get emotional, we don't think that way necessarily. There's too much violence out there, That's not the way to solve our problems. Talking about our feelings, for one thing, actually listening, and I don't mean listening like, oh yeah, I'm acknowledging you and I'm saying yeah, and I'm making gestures to you so you think I'm listening, but really in my head I'm just like, wait, when is my turn? Okay, it's quiet now. I'm going to say what I want to say. And that's, that's not really a great way of listening. Supporting one another, I think, is another kind of way to kind of preempt that. It's, we really just don't like seeing people like that. And there's a lot of good ways healthy ways to deal with your feelings. Like finding ways to connect with your body is one, connect with the land around you. Some people might call that nature. But sometimes, when you're feeling those emotions, you're not even like thinking, arguably that, some people might disagree with me, but arguably that's love,
Totally.
When you're feeling something that powerful. And I, hoping we seem to be talking about love every show, and I'm feeling good about that.
I think that's a result of the good vibes.
Good vibes, yeah. Love is probably the most powerful force on.
Yeah.
Well, it could be. I would speculate on that, but
yeah, like the sun's pretty powerful, but but love, man.
Yeah.
I think it's all about balance too, though. Is something that I think that story kind of teaches as well, though. In that, like, as you and I were saying in a conversation earlier this week, like, you can't so you can't be centered in only in someone else, because then you don't know what to do when that person, isn't there, right? That's, if you're only centered in someone else, that's dependency. You can't be only centered in yourself because, then you're a jerk, right? You're self-centered.
Yeah.
But if you're but you need to sometimes be self-centered.
Yeah.
And I would also argue that you can't only be centered in nature, because no man is an island, and an island is nature, but we need these social, relations, we can't just be be, kind of alone, with only being, part of the environment. The social aspect is an important part of human existence, I'd say.
Yeah, and I like what you said about being self-centered, because I think we get really confused about this. We'll say to people, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. That's bad. And I agree in some, in some ways of interpreting that, in that, like, if you only ever care for yourself, it's not a great world to live in.
For sure. Meanwhile, our economic system teaches the exact opposite of this.
Right.
But yes.
And totally. And we can get into those kind of systematic issues that we face. But from, where I'm kind of thinking about this as is you need to be selfish in certain things before you can practice them with other things. And, the kind of the most kind of easy, low-hanging fruit way of saying this is, and I keep coming back to it, you can't love somebody else unless you first love yourself. And so it is like totally like a door opener for love in your life to be able to love yourself first.
That's right. We were saying it's kind of the resolution to that paradox of the fact that I'd say like the two most common pieces of advice that you get when seeking love in the world is, just be confident and just be yourself.
Yeah.
You get both of those messages, and it's like, well, which one do I do? Do I be confident or do I be myself? And to resolve that, I think you need to realize, what is confidence? And I would say arguably confidence is an expression of self-love.
Nice.
And it can go too far, like that's what a con man that originally comes from, like confidence man who just sells how confident they are with what they're going to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the little etymology blurb for you there. But if you actually love yourself, then you're being confident and you're being, and therefore when you exude that confidence and it's genuine, that's what people want, like that people love that when they see that.
They're drawn to it.
For sure.
To it. Yeah, and I would say, interestingly enough, like a con man who would say, we would say is very self-centered and maybe loves himself too much. I might challenge that a little bit and just maybe, or think about it in such a way as like if somebody has a behavior that is hurtful to other folks or is kind of extreme, true self-love is in balance. Like, it's not compensating for something. And I would wonder about that, not to say that this is, the right way of looking at it, but I don't think a con man it actually loves himself because he's not practicing, or maybe that was your point. Maybe I got mixed up there. Yeah.
Well, no, and I think it can go too far, and it should be in balance because, really, yeah. But yeah, you can't just love yourselves, and we're sending a lot of love for ourselves right now, but we also want to extend that love, I think, to our guests.
Absolutely, yeah. If we could bring Mike in first here, that would be great. Good cue.
Yeah, we'll take a little break and we'll bring him in right now.
Right on. Thank you.
Oh, and also we said we were going to bring in both of them.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Nick even comes in before the show. He's like, "Hey, what do you want to do? How can we, set this up?" So I just wanted to take an opportunity here to welcome two of our guests onto the show today. Do you guys maybe want to take a moment and just introduce yourselves there, however you want to introduce? And we did say something that you're embarrassed about, but if whatever you feel like sharing, if you're lost, maybe share something like that. Tell us what you do. Who are you? What do you care about? What makes you you?
All right. I guess I'll go first. I'm John. I like to make music. I like psych-rock, hip-hop, the works.
Yeah.
My production names is Chancy or Chancy Drago.
Yeah.
And Vlada. That I haven't made that page yet, but it'll soon to come.
The name is yours. The page
it'll come. It'll come before this goes out.
The name is more important than the page, anyway.
Yeah, the name is written on my heart, and
yeah, it is.
I don't know. I like carving. I like plants.
Yeah.
I like nature. I like culture. I like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say one thing. like every time I see you, you got some sort of style. Even today, I feel like there's a style to what's going on, to how you represent yourself. Like I feel like you got a really good sense of style with your clothes. Like,
thank you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of is like a bit thrown together because like it's hot out, so I have to wear a t-shirt.
yeah,
I don't normally wear t-shirts, but like this summer's really killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that local weather, describes global weather patterns, but it could be global warming. Just
Yeah.
putting out the.
You got style too, though. You know.
Thanks, man.
Like I'm not sure if they were like rings or. I like the shoes, by the way.
Thank
the
you.
socks are a good fit for them, but
Yeah, thanks, man.
I saw some earrings earlier with like the beads.
Oh yeah, beaded earrings.
Yeah, I really like those.
Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, right on.
They go well with your hair and your beard and everything. Very what's it? I don't know. Rustic.
Rustic.
I
I got this like plaid jacket I remember putting on, and we call like a where I'm from, Prince George, we call it like a doe skin, and it's just like it's like a plaid kind of jacket you'd buy from Costco. And every time I put it on, people are like, yeah, that suits you.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like rustic. I was like, cool, yeah. Yeah, cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Mike, and I'm a pretty big goof. I don't know. I mean, like, I could talk for days and then just make jokes about everything I talk about.
What tell us about something that you care about right now? What's what kind of makes Mike right now in this stage of his life?
I think communities are really cool.
Cool.
So, I was very selfish, I would say, for like the first part of my life. I wanted to do like a medical dental path, which takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of support from the people around you.
Yeah.
And you do end up doing like a lot of taking. Like I don't think that anyone that really gets into those types of things or any like similar program really gets in on their own totally.
Yeah.
So, I want to focus more on communities. I want to, contribute to the communities that I'm a part of. And there's some really cool ones that I can combine with my interests. So, like, there's one that's like a Facebook group called, like, Calgary Motorcycle Riders.
Cool.
And, it's just an awesome group of people. Like, you can post questions and whatever, and people will answer, like, really quickly. And they're always, like, really kind to each other. Like, nothing's a dumb question kind of thing.
Yeah. When bike guys kind of a thing, like we've talked about bikes before. We even got a messenger called Vroom Vroom. But like bike things, being a bike guy is kind of like being a mechanic, bike mechanic, not a bicycle, but a motorcycle mechanic. But like every rider, I think you kind of ride long enough. Not everybody, but would you say like a lot of folks get into their own kind of maintenance and...
I think so. I mean, like, maybe just from exorbitant cost, but it's all really easy to do too. Like, I think that a lot of people who become like car guys or like bike guys usually start off as bike guys because it's just so accessible. It's easy to get into. Like, the cost of entry is really low. Maintenance is easy.
Like
to
motorcycles?
Yeah. Like when I hear car guys talking, like most of them are really familiar with motorcycles as well.
Oh yeah.
Because they had a little bike at one time that they sold and got into cars, but like it's a start for a passion for sure.
Yeah, cool. Right on, man. We're really happy you guys are able to come out today and be on the show here. I was sharing with Eric, that first little part of our show is kind of like us talking about our week and maybe some things we want to share. But when we get the guests on here, we really try and highlight what you guys bring and what's going on in your life, just to see, what other human beings are doing. Like there's a lot of people on this planet, and very few kind of voices, speaking for the masses. I kind of like having the show here as a platform for people to be able to put out some good vibes, share some things that they're doing. Yeah, and I know a bit about both of you, but I was hoping that you guys maybe would share a little bit about kind of some things that maybe you're working towards. I know, John, we're gonna get a Chancy. I'm gonna call you Chancy on the show because we're gonna have Jon Swan on here instead of saying Jon Swan and John, or I'll just say John and then Chancy if that's cool. What do you prefer?
Sure. I mean, you can also just call me Jonathan. I mean,
Jonathan.
it's
cool.
confusing because we got Mike, we got Michael,
Oh, that's
we got
true,
John
too, yeah.
and John, and my middle name is Michael. So.
We need another.
Right. I'll be Michael. You cool with being Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Jonathan, John. We got it. Okay, I'm glad
yeah.
glad we talked about that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I was hoping that you share a little bit of what it was like to do your music there, because you got a song that you're releasing today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit rough now. It's a bit messy, but I mean, I think I might do some finishing touches just before I post it, but I got some help with my two friends, Token and Jon Swan.
Oh, yeah, right on. Who we're going to hear from in just a little bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you think you're being hard on yourself? Like, I'm interested when artists are like sharing their art. We're always really quick to say, and even when I was telling people about this show, I was like, well, it's not that great. It's like, we might be on the CMRU radio show. And we're on SoundCloud, like like I would really downplay the show. I think as artists, sometimes we get in that habit, and not to say we should just be like, we're the greatest. You guys need to check out all of our things, But would you say you're being a little hard on yourself when
I mean, I suppose so. I try not to be like too downplaying of it. It's just, it's more to do with my standards of production because I didn't put in a lot of things. I had to cut a bit from the song that, I wanted in there. It's not fully on rhythm. It's not... there's no bass programmed in.
So maybe there's like a difference between like what you see as being humble and like not wanting to like brag at a certain stage versus having those like standards of yourself and being like, well, like these things aren't in place and I want them to be in place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
to me, it doesn't sound
interesting.
entirely finished. I don't know. You be the judge. You'll hear it later.
Cool. Oh, and we'll have opportunity to listen on the show. What you got or?
Yeah, I gave my MP3 to your guy.
DJ Nick.
DJ Nick. Yeah. DJ Nick.
Yeah. Do you want to? I was hoping maybe you would share a little bit about carving too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in this kind of when I think about carving, this is where I go. Is like back in the old like Greek days, not of this land here, but out in Europe. I think about like carving. Of like these, statue of David. That's kind of where my mind first goes because that's where I first learned about carving.
Oh, yeah.
And then, we also got like the West Coast folks, big into carving, huge into carving. They will tell whole stories on trees through their carving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my hometown is Duncan, which is right beside the Cowichan.
Right on, Cowichan Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Vancouver
And it's
Island.
yeah, and like it's the attraction, if you will. I'm putting air quotes around that for people can't see it. Duncan are the totem poles. They call it, the totem pole town. It's got more totem poles than anywhere else.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's I've had a huge respect for all of that. West Coast Salish and Kwakwaka'wak and all of those guys just do these amazing carvings and like art with that stuff. Like, and it really permeates the culture there too. Like, even like I went to a basketball camp one year that was like the Thunderbird basketball camp because like
cool.
the Thunderbird is a very important symbol there, and so we actually learned a little bit about that even before like playing basketball and stuff, and that was really cool.
Cool.
Anyway,
Yeah, carvings are just a big piece of culture, like we're talking about the West Coast peoples, but also Europe, going back to Greece there, Italy.
Well, I'd say for a lot of the art world, I mean, you're talking about those ancient statues and stuff that were from Greece, from Italy. I mean, that's kind of like the pinnacle of art, really. I saw the statue of David in person. It's amazing.
Was there a leaf?
Yeah, no, there wasn't a leaf. No, the real one doesn't have a leaf.
You can see his junk.
Or a seashell like it did in SpongeBob. Yeah. No, but I mean, it's amazing. And when you do art, say like you like painting, right? It's quite a bit different when you try to translate, an artwork into 3D.
Yeah.
That's the whole sort of basis of sculpture.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
So my uncle's into carving a bit, and so he showed me some things. And one of these guys, he's not from around Duncan. He's from right in the Vancouver area. I can't remember the name of his people, but my uncle learned a bit about carving from him. And one of the things he said is when you look at his wood carving, when you look at the wood, you see the animal or you see the carving there before you've even carved it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you actually see the piece before it's come out. Is that your experience, or?
I'd say so, yeah, a bit. I mean, like, you have to constantly improve on just seeing or imagining what it will look like in a 3D space.
Right.
What will protrude, what will be at a sort of weird angle. And, you also have to envision that. Say if you're working with wood, you also have to keep the grain of the wood in
grain
mind.
really matters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If it's the wrong way, you might have a lot of trouble. If you stain it the wrong way,
Yeah.
it doesn't look good. There's a lot of factors to it.
Yeah, and like animals, for their fur, for instance, the grain oftentimes goes with the direction of the flow of their fur.
Yeah.
Like if you're portraying a furry animal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I did that with bears and all of that. And, I mean, it's usually you have to use a V-gouge. You make all these little indents, and I try to keep it consistent with the with the grain. Yeah.
Cool.
But
Yeah. Yeah, let's, so I just wanted to hear a little bit about what's going on in Mike's world right now. I know something that I'm going to be hopefully, sorry, and thanks for sharing, Jonathan. And I'm also just looking at the time. I'm trying to be mindful of time too, so I'm learning how to do that. Something I want to do eventually, like my own vision for myself is to be a public figure for mental health. And I want to be able to speak from a number of different perspectives. So recently kind of added to that tool belt is art. But previous to that was graduate school, so being research literate, being able to speak from that point. But then also from a clinical point of view, so actually working with people. And you were going to dental school or dentistry school right now. And so I wanted to kind of ask you a little bit about what that's like. First of all, I know it's not easy. Like folks are like, oh, doctors got it easy, or, it's not an easy journey.
We... the dental kids go along with the medical kids for the first part of our education. So we receive like the same physiology kind of lecture, didactic learning. And then we split off when they kind of do their rotation, and, we go into more of our clinical work. It's incredible the amount. I mean, dental school students sacrifice a lot too, but it's incredible the amount med school students sacrifice. I don't think that really gets talked about very much. Definitely it's a lucrative career, like not saying that that's the reason you should go into it. But it is, held in high esteem by society for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
But no one sees kind of like the sacrifice that goes into it. Like those guys have to, put on their best face every single day to get, because med school is not really like based on like GPA percent type of grades. It's more like pass fail. So, where you go into your specialty kind of depends on your research experience, and getting into that depends on like how much people like you or your background before that.
So on top of all this hard work, you still have to have a good impression on folks.
Yeah, and everyone, because everyone knows everyone, right?
Wow.
So you need to be constantly like being on your toes, being like everything. Your game needs to be tight, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like every single day, and it doesn't stop. Like once you get into your specialty and residence, you're still going through the paces. Like there's still exams to study for, and if you're in a really tough one, they're all tough, but if you're, I'll say in like a longer one, like orthopedic surgery, which is like 5 years, then you're still grinding, like you're still trying to work your way up the totem pole, and then once you're done that, like that's another 5 years on already 4 years of medical education.
Right.
After that, like you still have fellowships to do. Some hospitals, if you want a position with them, they might ask that you're like publishing regularly, which might involve like another master's or PhD on top of that. So that's all on top of like
I know what you mean. Yeah,
an undergrad and a master's already. And you got to think that like even when all that's done, you're starting out at the bottom of the hospital totem pole. So
I know what you mean.
You're getting the worst shifts. It's the hardest to maintain relationships with people. And no one really sees that or talks about it. Like
and there's a lot of higher ups who. Sorry, I've seen a few doctors who kind of regret what they put like medical students through at a certain point, in that like because a lot of them will have gone through, that whole residency and med school and stuff, and will have just been really like, you need to put in, 60-hour weeks and stuff, and then they're like, okay, it's a tradition that you need to do, like these 60-hour weeks, even though it's probably worse for the patient because you're not sleeping enough and stuff. I mean, it's probably 60 hours being like conservative. It's probably actually more like 80-hour weeks.
Actually, I was talking to a guy heading out to the ferry to Denman Island, who was a doctor, and he said that like medical students these days, sometimes talk about the difficulties of having like 80 to 100-hour work weeks. But he said back in his day, of course, it was more like 120-ish.
Yeah.
Like it was even more difficult before in terms of like,
which is not healthy. You know what the most dangerous day to be in a hospital is?
July.
Yeah, that's right, man. July 1st, when
residents come in.
when new residents come in, like your odds of surviving a hospital.
It has an effect. Yeah, it's called the July effect. It's actually a real thing that's in literature.
Wow.
But if you want to be proud of like Alberta, home roots, apparently for stroke care, because that's what I did like some of my research in. Alberta is like one of the best places in the world to have a stroke, and that July effect is not present in stroke care.
I heard about
that.
Yeah,
cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So if you're at a higher stroke risk, like Alberta might be the place for you.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say actually. So go ahead.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I notice in conversation between when doctors start talking about dentistry, there's some of them, will start mumbling a little bit about like, private sector kind of thing. And I wonder how that attitude sort of, the evolution of that, like, do you kind of see the split already between, like our, med students kind of aware that they're kind of, a part of the public, even though they still get paid, lucratively, to say the least.
Yeah. I think, everyone knows that we're reimbursed differently. I don't really think it causes a divide. I have friends in multiple med programs, like at U of C, UBC, U of A. It just kind of is what it is.
Okay, fair enough.
Are you on like a scholarship or something like that?
No. Like the scholarships for dental school aren't very big.
Okay.
And there aren't very many of them. So like, tuition's always changing, but like recent updates to UBC's tuition for dental
school. So it's kind of like
very expensive.
It's kind of like rare to get a scholarship in med school.
I would say medical school is more common. Like that's where there's a bit of a divide. I think like this is from an outsider, program. Of course, speaking about this with no actual knowledge, but I feel like there's more scholarships in med versus dentistry.
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
I did remember what I wanted to say. It's interesting to me that the people in our society that we think and lean to for healthcare, for health advice to take care of ourselves, are the people who are treating themselves the worst, that are taking care of themselves the worst. Like that to me is that's incredible. It's it's a culture change. I think that needs to happen. We need.
And I think it is happening. There are a number of specialties that are kind of thought as of like lifestyle specialties in medicine.
Yeah.
I'll just throw dentistry in with the lifestyle specialties because it kind of embodies a lot of those values too.
Cool.
And it's just like people want more time off. People are recognizing that, especially younger people.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to take better care of themselves, despite all those things I talked about earlier about like having to really grind it and like go 110% all the time.
Yeah, word. Word. Thanks for sharing. So what I was thinking is maybe if we could let the other guys in here, Token and Jon Swan, and then what we'll do to get us started, we'll get them to just kind of say what's up, and then we'll listen to Jonathan's track, if that's...
Yeah, we can do that right now.
Do we get a treat?
Yeah, so you don't get a treat. That's a good idea, though. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, give candy. Guess.
Yeah.
So
It should be a sweet treat. And that makes the quadruple pun. That's we can't beat that.
Sweety treaty.
It's
Okay, so I'm just going to get you guys to repeat after.
Here's your sweetie treaty treat.
Yeah, it's a binding. So
You have to do it now.
The Sweety Treaty Show treaty is basically, so it's inspired by the tenets of hip hop. It's that we practice peace, love, and having fun for all guests and listeners. So, and everybody else on the team there. So that includes the co-hosts and DJ Nick and DJ Levy.
Nick.
Yeah, DJ Nick. So just get you guys to repeat after me. So I agree, and I feel that.
I agree, and I feel that.
And I will ask myself to will that.
And I will ask myself to will that.
Word.
Word.
Cool. So I just want to welcome onto the show. We got Jon Swan and some kind of token, aka Token Orlando, and Jon Swan on the show. Back from last week. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Really happy to have you guys. If you guys want to maybe just, if there's something you wanted to share really quick or anything on your mind?
We just did the song with John, so
Yeah.
Cool.
John.
It's pretty awesome.
So so the song we're about to listen to is a collaboration between Jonathan, aka Chancy,
Yeah.
John, aka Jon Swan, and Token, aka some kind of token. Is that correct? Am I?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
correct.
cool. So anything you want to set us up for, or we just want to listen to this and just kind of go with it?
I think we'll listen to it first.
Yeah. I mean, it's like my first fully released Psych-Rock song. I've
Cool.
normally just released beats and that sort of thing, so it's a bit of a first. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, right on. So DJ Nick and DJ Levy, if we could get that on the track, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll get that going right now.
Right on.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we're back on.
Yeah, we're back on. We're back on.
Back on.
That was cool. Did you want to ask that again?
Oh, I was just kind of asking Jonathan, rather, what was his inspiration for this song? Like, what kind of prompted that?
Well, I mean, like, as Mike pointed out, one of my big inspirations is Beatles, or a lot of psych rock bands from that time and from our time. It sort of started when I picked up my my harp and I just played that series of chords and came up with the lyrics, and everything followed suit.
It's kind of reminds me a little bit of Pink Floyd. It feels kind of Pink Floyd.
Nice.
Yeah. I love Pink Floyd. That's definitely a big one. I'm probably a more fan of the Barrett era, but I love all of it. Yeah, Sid Barrett easily. Oh man, I love his music.
Cool.
Really love his work.
So we are going to get to a freestyle in just kind of a moment here, and this isn't this is DJ Nick. This is not a cue for 30 minutes later. This is probably in about a few minutes here. So just heads up. He's giving me good direction on timing. So Wasey's going to come back and be like, "You did an episode for over 2 hours." But I did want to hear a little bit about what it was like to collaborate with one another, because artists. Art is very individual, like it's very what it is to you. And, it can't, I think it only has to be art to one person to be art, like not everybody digs every kind of art. So then you ask people who have an individualized kind of their own sense of what art is and their own expression of art, and you ask them to work together. That's, I would say can be challenging, or like right off the right off the step, or what is it?
Right off the bat.
Right off.
Yeah. Or the bot.
Yeah, we could.
Robots are cool.
Yeah.
Going around
And I think BAT in Hebrew is bot. They have their bat mitzvah and stuff. So maybe you're just saying
oh yeah,
and that's a
shalom, shalom.
There you go. Right, it's the rite of passage. Things are right. I think
was
it's
a good
becoming
one.
a man. So right as soon as you become a man, you write off the bot, if you will.
Thanks for saving me there.
Yeah. No need to correct yourself.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if you guys wanted to comment on that, or what that process was like. Is it easy, for instance, to invite folks into your studio and have them?
Well, yeah. I mean,
make
it
music?
was. I mean, I have a pretty simple studio. I have a pickup that plugs into my computer, a compressor mic, and a couple instruments, and I can bring that around with me. So we actually recorded at Zoe's house.
Oh, cool! Right on.
Right before the
So it's
podcast.
like a pick up and go studio, wherever you want.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a first for me in the sense that I don't work with harmony very often, harmonizing with other people. So that was a bit of a first. But It wasn't that hard to get it organized and assembled. We sort of, recorded part by part, and it's go on to the next one. It wasn't too difficult.
And John and Token are really good dudes. You know, like that. So
well, I knew
that.
from Cypher Club that these guys could sing, so I knew that it would work to get them on the track. They were already interested.
Cool.
At the last Cypher.
Because John actually played me the beat at the last, the instrumental at the last Cypher.
Cool.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It reminds me of the Beatles.
Cool.
So I was you need help with this, and then that's how it started. That's how the collaboration started.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what was it like for you guys being a part of that? Was it just kind of okay, we'll just record this quickly and no worries, or were you guys you get nervous, or do you feel like this is an extension of your art, or working with other artists, or what was that?
I feel like it was important that we did this, and we were I was talking to Token. I was like, hey, this is really different. We should try this. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, because me, I'm so used to writing a whole bunch of rap and R&B kind of songs and everything.
Yeah.
So it was really refreshing doing something different.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think it turned out really well. I'm just, I'm happy to be part of it, man.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you guys be a
Awesome.
part of it. Yeah.
Cool.
It's
I
definitely
like the part where Token. I liked all of it, but where Token came in, and added a lot of depth. I
Cool.
think to the entire song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
A lot
Thanks,
of
man.
soul.
A lot of soul. Yeah, I mean, I've told this story on the show before. like I'm a big fan of your voice, man. Like I'll really like listening to you speak. You know, like singing too. But like when I heard you rap for the first time there, definitely. My nipples got a little hard, that's kind of...
Damn, son. Hey.
Putting it, yeah.
This is a place for honesty.
He's got a great voice.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what's a great way to hear
yeah.
his voice? In freestyle.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah,
Eh?
good lead-in. Yeah.
There we go.
So if we could maybe set up a track there, DJ Neck, how
Yeah,
we doing?
I've got it set up from the start, so we can do that right now.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second.
Spit fire.
Good job, Eric, keeping us.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
So
All
we
right,
actually
ready?
went into 3 hours that show. Yeah.
We're doing pretty good this time, though.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, I feel like we're doing good.
It's got some structure. It's got just enough structure, I think, maybe.
Cool.
You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
I grew up hating structure, so I'm still like warming up to that idea.
But it's balance in all things,
It
man.
is.
That's
You're
the thing,
totally,
right?
It is. Yeah, totally is.
All right, we're ready.
Right
So-
on. Lay it on us.
I'll start it right now.
Word.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say the first line.
Yeah.
Because I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to rhyme.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Here we go on the mic. I'll be spitting this so you feel tight. Do your pants up, do your shirt on, that's alright, cause you ready for the day. Hey, I'm here to be saying to y'all that y'all great, cause I'm happy you're here. And let me tell you, some people have birthdays who are here.
Whose birthday is it?
So, I'ma make this a birthday rap. I'ma come at you with a rack attack. His name is Mike and he's not whack, and his name is Nick and he's cool like that.
Happy birthday, Mike. Woo!
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday to both Mike and
Happy
Nick.
birthday.
Is that
Mike
right?
and Nick.
Birthday.
Y'all
your
both
birthdays?
6?
Yeah.
Y'all
Happy
both sick.
birthday.
Mike and Nick.
Birthday.
Mike and
Happy
Nick and their birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Spitting these rhymes cause you know that it's your birthday. I be in YYC, you know that ain't my birthplace. Came from Texas where the shit was a little messy, but you know I'm coming through with the fucking fresh dressing. I got yellow on my glasses, I got my nut on these asses. Goddamn, I'm a savage. I be smoking on that cabbage. Just kidding though. You know that I be going so sober. Override the game because you know the shit ain't over. Shit.
Over. Yeah.
Over.
That's my boy Token. Let me tell you this, if a mic could break from his vocals, it'd be broken.
Broken.
I'll be telling you, it'd be broken.
Broken.
And I'm hoping every day that I'll be smoking good stuff. And I want to be here to make justice for you all. I want to be here like presents, like Biggie Smiles. Cause
Yeah.
he's got a big way on the mic, and
Yeah.
he's got a big presence. You know he's reaching new heights, and he ain't here today, but his spirit is.
He died.
So I be out in the field playing frizz with
Yeah.
myself, but he's with me. It be cool tipsy. I'll be getting icky, cause you know I'm tipsy. Cause I'm gonna frisbee, cause I'm gonna ticky. And I'm a little icky, and I be sit itting.
Yeah.
And I go back printing all these words, these lyrics. I'll be here just sitting. Yeah.
On the Sweety Treaty Show with these boys who like to beaty their meaties, kitties, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real though.
it's probably good that I got cut off.
That was good. That was really good. Cool.
Yeah, I was thinking. You could change like your intro to like the Tiny Toons theme. Instead of we're tiny, we're toony. You'd be like, we're sweetie, we're treaty, we're all little.
I feel ya.
We'll experiment with that. Yeah. You know what I like doing, what I like about what we're doing is that we can bring our guests into our intro and extra. Like we sing it, like that to me, there's not enough kind of live music. There's not enough live kind of things in people's lives. And so we got an opportunity, that's part of why I would try and do the freestyles, to give people a little bit of taste of music that's not, manicured.
Not quantized, it's improvised.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta drop like an extra on people when they're not least expecting it in 3, 2, 1. It's the Sweety Treaty Show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Wicked. Yeah. Any just before we leave, any good vibes you guys want to put out to our listeners, or any people doing some good work in the community? Anything you really
You're doing good work in the community.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing a service by making this podcast.
Cool. Radio talk show, but
Radio talk show.
That's not on the radio. That's a bit of an issue with that.
So
yeah, this is not a radio.
Wasey wants to keep this under 3 hours, but I have something to rant about. There used to be this community in Calgary that did this thing called like IDI, or it was like ideas developing ideas.
Word.
And like basically, the premise behind it was like people just kind of got together and talked about whatever, was going on. And I think you channeled that really well, Mike.
Cool. Yeah.
So you really are doing
good.
good work in the community, because like that was such a cool thing that was going on for a while.
Yeah.
And you're bringing back with your own flavor. So
it's cool. Like this is like got some of that in here.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. I would maybe go next and just say good vibes out to my family and anybody traveling. I'm going to BC. There's a lot of forest fires going on right now, so hope people are being safe, and people are being fire smart. Be fire smart. There's, I don't know the number, but there's a number to call if you're, if you see something, and just good
Only
vibes out.
you can stop forest fires.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm pointing at you.
What's the bear's name?
Smokey the
Smokey the
Bear,
Bear.
yeah. He's iconic.
And just a shout out. Did we get a chance to talk about confidence as a?
We did. Yeah. We
Okay.
did.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Just a shout out to love. Just like people, if you get a chance in your life, just if you love somebody, make sure you tell them. Like that's what I want to say.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah. Anybody want to add anything to that? Any good
Sure,
vibes? Anything you want to plug?
I love my whole, refugee health team. So yeah, shout out at Refugee Health on Twitter, or at Refugee Health YYC on Instagram. Yeah.
Word.
All right.
Word. Token?
Oh man, there's like, I've had quite an eventful week lately.
We're happy you came to cap it off with us.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start. Well, I mean, there's this girl, right? Right.
Okay, I am going to be a little bit mindful of the time here. I don't want to cut anything that you're feeling off.
Yeah.
And just to be mindful of that timepiece there. Just maybe tell us something that you've been feeling, or something that it's taught you. When you meet that girl.
I'd say the number one thing is just being open. I haven't opened my heart that much to anybody in a long time, and it was very, it was very uplifting in a way, and it's a good feeling. you know?
Word.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Word.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Yeah, I do agree with the whole opening up thing too, because I kind of have to do something similar.
Word.
I don't know. I think it's just a good thing to do. It's just good to be honest with the other person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Even though they might not like. I don't know. It's better. I'd rather be honest than to hide feelings.
Yeah.
from someone else.
And it
Yeah.
takes courage to be
Yeah.
honest. Like you gotta like, cause it's afraid. Like, what is that person gonna think about me? What are they gonna judge me for? You know, what are they gonna hold against me? All these fears. Yeah, you gotta be
Yes,
courageous
yeah.
in being honest.
So, yeah. Sometimes it's good to just not hide your feelings
Word.
and actually like express them.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
Something like positive, I want to say.
Yeah, good vibes. So it's like, is there anybody that you want or anything that you want? So like I shared some folks that I kind of was thinking about, but also some things like love that I was thinking about. Just things you want to put good vibes out to.
I recommend everyone get a houseplant and take care of it. I think that's
Nice.
actually kind of like a positive thing. You get to see it grow, you know.
Yeah,
I think it brings a little bit of positivity in anyone's life.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
It's
Word.
the only thing I can think of. saying,
That's
yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out Thoder.
And Thoder.
Yeah, that's my
Word.
man.
Yeah, word.
out
Shout out to
Thoder.
Thoder. And sorry, and I wrote down a list of birthday folks. My sister Debbie Crazy Boy, happy birthday. Joe Plant, happy birthday. Ron Harder, my step grandfather, happy birthday. Quentin Nice, I think that's the way to pronounce it. Snotty Nose Rez Kids, he represents. So shout out to Quentin for his birthday. Sherry Marindiak, who I missed your birthday this week. I'm so sorry, but I was with you in spirit. Tim Kenny, who started my educational journey with me, happy birthday. Jake, aka Professor Rael, is a kind of inside joke between me and him. Happy birthday. Floyd Black Horse, happy birthday. And another one of my moms there, Marcy Lepka, happy birthday. And then also especially to Nick and Mike, who I didn't tell them that I knew that it was their birthdays.
Yeah,
but-
well, I was wondering about that because I mentioned to Elijah that it was my birthday, and then you said it, and I was like,
yeah.
You're the worst.
I was. yeah. Yeah. Any Elijah? Sorry, DJ Levy, DJ Nick. Anybody you want to put good vibes out to? Anything you want to put good vibes out to?
I mean, like, it's my birthday today, so my girlfriend made me an Oreo cheesecake.
Wow.
And that was great.
Word up,
So-
word up to your girl.
That's
Yeah.
I didn't realize, like, I've had it before, and I forgot what it tasted like, and that I had it again. I see it in the fridge, and I get, like, so excited. I had some this morning.
The
given that
best
today's my
day. Every
birthday.
time you open the fridge, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Maybe I'll give it to Elijah quick then.
Yeah.
And but I have to do some housekeeping at the end because we're out on a lot more platforms now, and we should address that fact.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Sounds good.
So what was gonna have to?
Just.
Sorry, Elijah didn't have the headphones, so he has no idea what's happening.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, what's some good vibes you want to put out to some folks there, or some good vibes you want to put out to something?
I mean, like, it was great to be here and like hear all of you guys' experience. I had a conversation with John and Token, and like, you know, the thing I like about this show is like new people come in and like hear about different experiences, and
Yeah.
I just like the exchange of ideas we got going on there. So like, like you said,
Yeah.
you know,
word.
it's a good thing going.
Cool. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, if people weren't coming and enjoying themselves first and foremost, then we wouldn't do it this way. So
Right.
people seem to be kind of digging what we're doing, and we're growing as we're doing it. So it's not like the perfect, but word up, man.
It's relaxed.
Yeah.
It's like a hangout session. It's
Exactly.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, cool. I'm really happy to
Yeah,
have
man.
you guys all on the show. Really appreciate it, and the help there from the back crew there, DJ Nick and DJ Levy.
We got you guys, man.
The ones and twos, yeah. Cool. Nick wants to hit us up with some housekeeping stuff. Is that?
Yeah, here, housekeeping.
Yeah, clean our house, Nick. Tell us
Yeah,
what's up.
We need more
Yeah.
headphones for one, apparently.
He's starting a maid service.
Yeah.
Hey.
But,
Congrats.
basically, by the time this episode's up, like when we're recording this has already happened, but we can announce it, I guess, late.
Yeah, word.
Because at this point, we're on basically every podcast service except for Apple Podcasts because it's very broken right now,
Gotcha.
and we can't get it submitted to review to then be posting every week. But like we have the SoundCloud page, and as of today, we have episodes out on YouTube, and we also have stuff on Spreaker, stuff on Pocket Cast, stuff on TuneIn. There's another, but I forget what. I forget.
I know, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it doesn't. Basically, all of them, and we're getting on all of the smaller ones now.
And we're doing that. So correct me if I'm wrong. We're doing that just to reduce barriers and make it more accessible to folks.
Yeah. So that if anyone wants to listen to a show on whatever's most convenient to them, it'll be available basically.
Not just stream it on SoundCloud.
Yeah, not just on SoundCloud, because I don't use SoundCloud personally. So I know that if I was someone who was told about the show and I was like, oh, it's only on SoundCloud, I probably won't listen to that. I don't really care.
Word.
You know?
Cool. Right on. Kate, thanks for being a part, and have a wicked week, everyone.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man.
It's a pleasure.
It was good meeting all you guys.
Yeah, well, that was fun.
It was fun. Actually, I don't think I have time for the photo. Like, I'm
Okay.
super late.
Can I?
Doing a photo?
Oh, yeah.
Set it up. Can we just everybody
Alright.
run to the seat?
I guess, yeah, alright. Do it quick. Yeah.